Hi. Sometimes to do your job properly, you need to know the tools that you're working with. So in this episode, we're going to take a look at the tools that you will need for coding.
Welcome to MV Coding Camp. Build coding foundation by learning basic coding fundamentals using real code and hands-on exercises. Don't worry, what we'll cover applies to any programming language. Let's get started.
In order for you to write code, you are going to need some kind of app or website to help you write the code. There are two general types of coding tools, those that you install on your computer and those that you can use on a website. Let's talk about the first type, apps. The simplest type of coding app you can install on your computer is called a code editor. Some examples of popular code editors include Sublime Text, Vim, Atom, Visual Studio Code, Notepad++, and Brackets. These code editors are not ordinary apps that help you write some text or some essay. They have many special tools and features that can help you write code faster and with fewer mistakes. I'll give you 3 features that I really like about code editors. 1. They change the color of your code to help you see different types of words and numbers and symbols that you're using. This feature, commonly called syntax highlighting, will help you find things in your code quickly and help you visualize how your code is organized. My second favorite code editor feature is how it actually helps me type faster by typing for me. How is that possible? I'll explain. These are called braces or curly braces. They are used a lot in programming languages, and you will always have a pair of opening and closing braces. Between them, you will find one or more lines of code that are meant to be together. When you type an opening brace, most code editors will automatically add a closing one. This goes the same for other symbols like parentheses, brackets, and quotation marks. The last feature is something that many of you are already familiar with because you've seen it in some kind of chat or messaging app in your phone, or when you start typing into Google and it completes typing for you. This is frequently called predictive text in those instances. Obviously, a majority of your time in coding is spent, you guessed it, typing. The words and names that you use in code are commonly repeated. So what many code editors do is that they will remember those words and names and give you a list to choose from, so you don't have to retype it or do any copy and pasting. When you see the list, simply use the arrow key or mouse to select what you want and click the enter key. This is frequently called autocomplete. Think of code editors as just one very useful tool in coding. There are many other tools, such as the one that help you simulate a phone virtually on your computer without actually having a phone, or the one that takes your finished code and publishes it to the web for the whole world to see. When you put a bunch of these coding tools together in an app, you have something called an IDE, or Integrated Development Environment. Some very common IDEs include Visual Studio, Eclipse, or Xcode. IDEs can do more advanced stuff that code editors cannot. One of the things the IDE can do, for example, is debugging. You heard right? Debugging. No. Not that sort of debugging. We're gonna need to talk about bugs for a minute. A bug in software is a problem in your code that is causing your app, your website, or whatever you're coding to work incorrectly or behave in an unexpected way. To debug is to find the cause of the problem and hopefully fix them. Sometimes a bug could be something as small and as silly as a typo. Typos are mistakes that you make in typing, such as misspelling a word. But without a debugger, it will be very difficult to find a bug, especially when you have hundreds and hundreds of lines of code. So far, we have talked about coding tools that you have to install on your desktop or laptop. There are also plenty of great code editors and IDEs that you can use on the web without any installation, and most of them are usually free. Some popular online code editors include JS Fiddle, CodePen, PHP Tester, .NET Fiddle, Codecademy, and Cloud9. In fact, if you have completed the previous exercise, you would have used an online IDE that I created just for MV Coding Camp called Tide. In that lesson, we tried levels 1 and 2 and learned that in coding you must follow the syntax. Tide, like many IDEs, will let you know if it's not happy with something that you wrote. One thing for you to remember is that Tide is not using an actual programming language. It is showing you common coding patterns and styles and syntax found in real programming languages. In future episodes, we'll use another version of Tide that actually uses real programming languages like JavaScript and Python. In this episode, you have been introduced to code editors and IDEs and the neat features that they can do, like syntax highlighting and autocomplete. We also talked about bugs and debugging. That's all I have for you today. I gotta go catch some bugs. Don't forget to subscribe below so you know when the latest lesson is released. See you in the next lesson.